veterans, there are some, not all, but some VA employees that are still getting it wrong when it comes to veterans benefits. In today's video, I'm going to share with you a news report out of Atlanta, Georgia, which shows several veterans benefits being cut when they weren't supposed to. So make sure you stick around. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Dwayne. I got a video for the Kimball, United States Army veteran and retired VA rating specialist. Today's video. Some, not all, and I stress some, not all, VA employees are still getting it wrong as it pertains to veterans benefits. I'm gonna share with you a news report out of Atlanta, Georgia, explaining what went wrong. But in this video, I'm going to share with you some critical information that you probably did not catch. And after I share this news report, I'm going to give you some VA claim nuggets so this doesn't happen to you. But before I get into this news report, make sure you click the link in the description section and pick up my new book, The VA Compensation Blueprint. It's time to win. Also, when you get to the store, I have coupon codes for you. All right. So let's go ahead and get into this news report.
Cut a
Here we
local
go.
veteran's disability check because she was working a full-time job. But she says she's never even heard of the town where the job was and never worked there. Channel 2 consumer investigator Justin Gray has reported on the same problem happening with other veterans. This evening, he is live in Duluth.
Yeah, Linda, this is the office where they say she was working, but a 2 hour right now is 2 hours and 20 minutes a bit ago, 2 hour journey just one way. And the company, they even sent this letter to the VA saying this woman never worked there.
I've already lost a vehicle.
Her monthly Department of Veterans Affairs benefit checks cut in half from $4,000 to $1,900. Georgia Navy veteran Yasmina Covington says she can't keep up with the bills.
Now I got to decide, am I going to buy groceries this month or I'm going to keep the water and the lights on? Like, it's a constant battle.
The VA cut this formerly 100% disabled veterans benefits because government records show she earned $57,947 in 2023 at a packaging company called West Rock in Duluth, 117 miles from her Warner Robins home.
I've never been to Duluth. I've never met anybody from Duluth.
Covington even got the Human Resources Department of West Rock to send the VA this letter confirming she was not an employee. Channel 2 Action News investigates reported on the same thing happening this spring to other veterans.
It's hard to hold back tears, man. It's hard to hold back.
The VA.
Okay, I'm going to pause this video right here. And this is very important, okay? Because this is a rating decision. And if you saw this video before, previously, you probably didn't catch it. So I watched this video multiple times. I took some notes because it's very important to understand what really happened here. In the news, it's not their fault, okay, because they don't know the process. So myself as a former rater, this is where I'm going to break it down. I'm going to spend some more time after this report, okay? So this is a rating decision. Okay. And I'm sure that the veteran gave the news channel permission to post this, but there's no sensitive information here. Okay. So it states reasons for decisions. Okay. Continued entitlement to individual unemployability. Okay. So when they're talking about slashing benefits and jobs and income verification, I already knew that's individual unemployability. Okay. So let's go through this. I'm going to read these 3 paragraphs and give you explanations so you understand. We notified you of our proposal to reduce to your current total evaluation based on individual unemployability to the scheduler equivalent of scheduler evaluation of 70% because you failed to return the VA Form 21-4140 employment questionnaire. As of this date, we have not received the completed form from you. Now, this is where I know I'm going to get a lot of flack. This is 90% the VA's fault and 10% the veteran's fault. Here's why. In this paragraph, they say we notified you of a proposal to reduce. So this is the final reduction letter. In that proposal to reduce, they tell you in the notification letter, you are entitled to an RVSR hearing, Rating Veterans Service Representative hearing. You know how I know about it? I used to facilitate these. I even have a video on what RVSR hearings are. Once you tell them you want their hearing, everything stops. Okay. And I'm going to give you all some VA claim nuggets, what you can do before you prepare for the hearing. Let's keep going. We receive evidence from the Social Security Administration that show you earn wages above the poverty threshold in the calendar year 2023. Okay, people, when you are on IU, you don't return that 4140, the VA is going to start digging. And they went out to Social Security, and guess what? In the M21-1, they tell you they will go out to Social Security to verify some stuff, all right? Then it says entitlement to individual unemployability is discontinued effective March 1st, 2025. Okay. They gave this veteran due process. So I don't know if the veteran did not read the letter, okay, and didn't elect for the RVSR hearing. All right. But that's important that you read this information. Let's keep going.
He told Roosevelt Smith his benefits were being cut for working at a diner he'd never heard of.
Said I didn't report my earnings. I'm like, I didn't generate any earnings.
Virginia Franklin was told she made 6 figures last year, but she hasn't worked since 2004. Both Smith and Franklin had their benefits restored after Channel 2 Action News got involved. Yasmina Covington has appealed the benefits cut, but so far gotten nowhere with getting this resolved.
I know I did nothing wrong. And others haven't done anything wrong. And now all of us are potentially at risk of losing the little bit that we do have. And it's not fair.
And so I did reach out to the Department of Veterans Affairs. A spokesman tells me because of the shutdown, there's not anything they can do today. They said as soon as the shutdown is over, they're going to have the benefits department do an investigation into this case. And again, the 2 previous veterans that we interviewed about this after we got involved did get their money back. We're going to continue to follow this. We're live in Gwinnett County. Justin Gray, Channel 2 Action News.
Okay. All right. So again, I would say 90% falls on the VA because they just totally screwed the pooch on this. But 10% of that fault falls on the veteran. Here's why. And I had to take some notes. I got some notes I'm going to be reading off of, okay? And I know I'm going to get flat for that, but hopefully you understand after I explain this. One, this is nothing new. I've seen this before as a rater. How does this happen? Because a rater didn't pay attention. The rater didn't pay attention, more likely that the evidence that was in front of them. When they say they received word from Social Security, guess what's in that information? Social Security number, names, addresses. So as a rater, when the VSR gets that information and puts it in front of you, you have to confirm, okay, is the Social Security correct? Social Security number correct? Is the name correct? Is the address correct? All right. So somebody dropped the ball big time at the VA because all that should have been confirmed. Okay. So it could have been 2 separate raters. It could have been a rater that did the proposal to reduce, and then it could have been another rater that did the final letter reducing the veteran. Nobody verified anything. Okay. Sometimes the wrong evidence gets uploaded in the veteran's file. It still has to be reviewed. Okay. But I knew as soon as they started talking about employment, what they made, I knew these vets had been granted IU. Okay. So the first thing they said the job the veteran didn't work at. Okay. The lets me know it was IU. They made over $57,000. Now, one, let me commend this news channel for reporting this and getting these benefits back for the 2 out of the 3 veterans. That's definitely awesome. So kudos to them. When you do IU, they have to, every year, you're going to get a letter, that 4140, employment verification. You have to return that. Okay. Basically saying you didn't earn anything. You heard the last vet say, Well, what do you mean? I didn't earn anything. You have to let them know that they didn't earn anything. Okay. Then it stated the veterans benefits went from 4,000 to 1,900. That is adverse action, people. I have a video on my channel where I'm explaining what is adverse action and what it is you can do if you disagree. Also, with another video where I'm explaining what an RVSR hearing is. A lot of people do not read that notification letter when they are doing a proposal to reduce, and that's a problem. Okay. Then I showed you at the 1 minute and 41 second mark. Okay. I stopped it and I gave some explanation. All right. That let me know right there that it was the final reduction letter, because you're going to get two if your overall percentage is going to be changing. Okay. So the veteran was at 70%, which they were being paid at the 100%. And then they reduced them from the 100%, severed IU, and then they go under the monthly amount for the 70%. People, read that notification letter, especially if they're talking about proposal to reduce, because guess what? Again, I'm going to say it again. I'm going to keep saying it. They give you the option for an RVSR hearing, and it is time sensitive. So the news reporter highlighted a certain section, but it didn't highlight the other sections because they are unfamiliar with this process and how it works. Now, I'm not saying that the veterans benefits should have been cut. That is not what I'm saying. What I want you to understand is IU is a beast. You need to know what it is you're doing when you jump off into that pond of IU, what it entails after they service connect you. Okay. Now, this adverse action, just not these veterans. If they're proposing to reduce a back condition, PTSD, you can do the same thing. When that overall percentage is going to change, they have to give you due process. Part of that due process is notifying you we're proposing to reduce and give you the opportunity to schedule an RVSR hearing. Yes, you heard me say it again, RVSR hearing. Now, at the end, the reporter said he reached out to the VA and they said due to the shutdown. That's a lie. I'm going to tell you why that's a lie. The people that did the development, the VSR, they got information from Social Security. They're still working. Okay. And then the RVSR, that is the person that completed the rating decision that I showed you at the 1 minute, 41 second mark. They're still working. They're not furloughed. They are essential individuals. So guess what can happen? They can send it to the regional office that screwed it up. And this was in Atlanta, so it doesn't surprise me if Atlanta did this. You call the VA White House hotline, and I'm talking to the veterans that that saw this. So if you know the young lady, the Navy veteran, show her this video, okay? So then you file a complaint, and you say, "Hey, I received a notification letter from this location or this location. Here's a 3-digit number, and they screwed it up." Now, if she's already received that final reduction. Okay. But if this happens to you and you get caught in the middle, that's what you do. So, other veterans, once you receive that final reduction, you have what, 365 days to file an appeal. Guess what? The droves are still working. The droves are still working. Okay. And they stated she lost her car. She don't know if she could pay the light bill or buy food. Now she's in a hardship. I did a video on that. How do you get your claim moved to the front of the line? Hardship. Okay. So she files that appeal. During that appeal, I would even send in evidence. Okay. Now they won't consider it, but in this case, they could. Okay. Or you may wait till you get to the informal conference and say, hey, this is going to create a hardship for me. I have evidence. Can I submit it? And the DRO can say yes. And that when they tell you that, then you submit it and they can work that claim ASAP. You go right to the front of the line. Okay. So there's certain steps this particular veteran, Navy veteran, they can take. I've already done videos on it to show you how to submit your high level review. okay? And schedule your high-level review informal conference and get it done faster. So guess what? During that high-level review, you can tell the joke, hey, I even got a letter from this company stating I don't work there. Also, the evidence that you show saying that I am working, whose name is on it? Which social security number is on it? Okay. Might not be a bad idea to submit a FOIA request and get a copy of everything. Okay. And you got to get all this stuff expedited. Okay. Because you got to make a decision on if you're going to buy food, pay rent, keep the lights on, or whatever. All right. So I don't want to make this video any longer, but these are things I want to make sure you understood. These are things that you could be doing before those final decisions are made. So with that being said, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and as always, share this video with your fellow veterans. Thank you.